the problem with like the liberal philosophies is that you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory every single time. J.K. Rowling has been on just a tear of victories against men dressing as women and pretending to be women, and them being mentally ill. And of course, at this point, she's getting an actor involved with her show who is pushing the exact opposite thing. And she's just like, oh, no, it's cool. Just like leave them be. Let them do their good work in here. And the problem is, this would never be done in response on the opposite side. J.K. Rowling is too big with Harry Potter to cancel. But for the rest of us, we're out here. If we fight against the weird transgender propaganda out there and all that, we lose our jobs. They go after us. They try to destroy our lives. And that's what we're dealing with. And when you have one side that kind of does this like, no, just live and let live, like kind of not fighting, and then one side that is just like, which is the radical left, of course, which is just trying to destroy everything, we have a big problem. And on the flip side, you have a conservative culture that doesn't like to pay attention to the culture and doesn't like to actually do anything on the culture. It's really like beating your head against a wall on this front. And a lot of people have actually tuned out of the culture war just because they've just been tired. It's constant bombardment, and that's exactly what propaganda is. Constant bombardment of this kind of thing. And then you get too tired to fight it, and so they steamroll over everything. That is exactly what they've been doing, and as much as we had our one election victory, I haven't seen any changes in Hollywood. We've now got Harry Potter with Black Snape coming. We just had Andor in Star Wars with a lesbian kiss and a transgender like dude pretending to be a woman in that. We have Doctor Who, which is way off the rails and doing the exact same thing. We have Amazon Rings of Power diversity show. We have Wheel of Time, which is a giant gay allegory show, ruining that Christian fiction out there in fantasy fiction. So it's like, where is the anti-DEI stuff? Well, there's not a lot of it. It's in books, it's in comics, and it's all being done independently, which we're doing and adding a lot to here, my friends, which I'll get into in a moment. So please hit the like and subscribe button. We're really fighting against this wave of woke culture, and I really appreciate you guys for being here. This is the real fantasy news, and I have been trying to, of course, just get conservatives to wake up for a long, long time that everything is being subverted. Now, I have a series, and it's a YA series called The Adventures of Baron von Monocle, and it starts with For Steam and Country. It is a 6-book series as of now, and it starts here. And this is just a patriotic, nationalistic series. And so it's clean, it's good for YA. Like, you can read it with your kids. I got a beautiful email from a pastor last week saying he's going to share it with his whole church because it was clean, it was good, it had characters who were uplifting, and that's the type of stuff that we miss. And that's exactly why Harry Potter endured and stood the test of time, because it had all of that. It had all of those elements to it as well. So if you like that, if you want some new fantasy that's not, and gosh, don't even get me started on the stuff in bookstores. If you go in there, you can't step in a YA section, which is like for teens and kids, without like seeing like covers of like two dudes kissing and stuff. It's crazy. So we do have to push back against this, and we do have to do things and actually just cut out the left out of everything if we're going to build a parallel economy and a parallel culture here. So check this out. This is in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio for you. Thank you guys so much for being great readers. I know you are, as Harry Potter fans. And let's break this down and just get into where J.K. Rowling went wrong. And it, like I said, it's her liberalism and her libertine philosophy, the live and let live. And I know it's so easy to want to do that, but because of that, that is going to cause problems down the road. And it always does, because the left is never going to have any mercy. They're going to never show any backing down on anything. We've seen this so far. So she responded recently, announced Severus Snape after Papa Isedu, calling for gender ideology to be propagandized via television and film. Now, this is the race-swapped character that's already put in as a diversity hire as it is, and this is it. In the middle of April, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of 4 women in Scotland. This is where she got a big win. The definition of sex is EA 2010 makes clear that the concept of sex is binary. A person is either a man or a woman. Persons who share that protected characteristic for the purposes of group-based rights and protections are persons of the same sex, and provisions that refer to protection for women necessarily exclude men. Although the word biological does not appear in this definition, the ordinary meaning of those plain and unambiguous words corresponds with the biological characteristics that make an individual a man or a woman. These are assumed to be self-explanatory and require no further explanation. Men and women are, on the face of the definition, are only differentiated as grouping by ideology and share their group. There we are. In response to this ruling, of course, we saw J.K. Rowling's big thing where she posted her smoking a cigar and drinking some wine on her yacht, saying she was happy with this going on. What did her Snape actor do to all of this? He added his name to an open letter condemning the ruling and vowing to push gender ideology propaganda through film and television, like Harry Potter. Now, the letter states in part, we, the undersigned film and television professionals, stand in solidarity with the trans, non-binary, and intersex communities who have been impacted by Supreme Court ruling April 17th. We wish to add our voices to the 2,000-plus signatories of Open Letter to UK Writers in the Trans Community, published last week, and call upon our members of our industry to join cultural bodies to join us. It adds, the UK film and television industry is at the forefront of a cultural change. In recent years, we have come together in response to Me Too and Black Lives Matter, movements to reflect upon our working practices and uplift a broad spectrum of voices in our society. It's a society. We now urgently work to ensure that our trans, non-binary, and intersex colleagues and collaborators and audiences, gosh, how do they even talk when they have to list 50,000 genders every single time they say anything? Are protected from discrimination, harassment in all areas of the industry, whether on set, production office, or at the cinema. It concluded by saying film and television are powerful tools for empathy and education. We believe passionately in the ability of the screen to change hearts and minds. This is our opportunity to be on the right side of history. Oh, yes. Please clap, everybody. In response to this, the Daily Mail says, I don't think they would want his sacking optically. And that's the deal, is it's always optics that the libertine sort of, I don't even know what to describe her as, but they care more about optics than they care about actually making the full commitment to going into things. And that's why we end up having problems, because if you give into this whole optics thing, it's fake. Optics, by definition, is just about perception. It's just about framing reality. It's not about reality. And that's how they get lies told all the time by the left, because they know that they can win an optics war, whether it's true or not, and therefore they can make their progress. That's the whole deal. A source added, if he chooses to leave the cast, that's his personal decision, but it's a job on a huge show. Rowling reacted, saying, I don't have the power to sack any actor from the series, and I wouldn't exercise it if I did. I don't believe in taking away people's jobs or livelihoods because they hold legally protected beliefs that differ from mine. Now, that's pretty interesting right here as we see what's going along right now. And this is a legally protected. One, this guy should have never been cast as Snape to begin with, and we know this. This is a diversity hire that's been put in there. It is a terrible sign for the show going forward. And for some reason, J.K. Rowling loves to push the race swapping thing. They did it in the stage play iteration of Harry Potter as well. And so this is type of thing that, it's weird. If she understands that a man isn't a woman and a woman isn't a man, well, a black guy's not a white guy, you'd think that follows also. But this is where they go, because they still want to virtue signal race, and it's so weird. Now, this guy, of course, just signed a petition saying he pretty much hates her. And if he's going to be cautious about it, because he's got a show to promote and all that for his own money, but it shows he has no morals and he's willing to just do whatever it is anyway. But here's the deal: if he's going to be the guy that you're pushing up as a diversity hire, that you're pushing up and you're going to actually shove in the fans' faces in a way that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and he's going to go and then counter signal you and everything you're trying to actually accomplish culturally, that's insanity to leave this person as part of your whole piece right here. But she doesn't have the power. That's true. And she probably doesn't. She probably just is like a consulting role or whatever it is. But on that level, she should call for it, because she should stand up a little harder for her own beliefs. And that's the thing. Now, she won't do it. The reason she doesn't is because I think she'd risk getting canceled, and she wants the optic war to be more important than actually just calling out these leftists and making sure that they get the pressure that they've been exerting on us for years. And if they ended up ever getting that kind of pressure, if we really did this and we showed with this whole N-word lady lady this last week, that it's doable. I mean, you can actually change the course of somebody's life very, very easily and push back against leftism very hard. If we started pushing back for real, we could see cultural change. But man, the people at the top are so scared of just losing a few bucks. It's really, really tough to see this. And it's sad. It really is sad. Fight harder, fight stronger, and fight to win, my friends. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you like some great YA fiction right here that, of course, has some good values, check out For Steam and Country. Really appreciate you being here. We'll be back soon.